Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and go over the HPR on the Dye M2, common leaks on what to fix and what to look for, and how to quickly diagnose any leaks. So the Allen sets we're going to need is a 1/4 size Allen, a 3/16 Allen, and a metric 1.27 Allen. You'll also need a needle nose pliers to go ahead and get that piston out easy and effective. I also have two die tools here. One is pick, and then the other one I'll go over when we get the HPR apart. Let's go ahead and take it apart with the 1/4 Allen. Now that we have it partially out, you want to keep the gun upside down. There is shim stacks on the piston in your HPR. You do not want to lose any of the shims. I will go over when I pull it out how to restack them if they do get out of order. At this point, I'll go ahead and take a die tool with a small Allen that fits inside the piston, and then go ahead and shake the M2 right side up to remove all the shims, but also keeping the shim stack in the correct order. Now we're going to go ahead and pull out the piston, and that's when we're going to need the needle nose pliers. We're just going to go ahead and gently pull them out. And as soon as we do, we can go ahead and just grab the piston and pull the piston completely out. I was grabbing the piston like so inside the gun, just giving a nice gentle squeeze, not too hard, because I do not want to bend this aluminum piston and make it an oval shape or get any teeth marks on it. This does rest on your adjustment screw at the bottom of the cartridge here, and we don't want it to create an indent where it shouldn't. We're going to go ahead and take apart your cartridge for the HPR now. We're going to need the small Allen, the 1.27, and there's 3 screws along the outside of the cartridge to get this service nut out. These screws do not need to come completely out. You can keep them partially in like so you don't lose them or misplace them. We're going to go ahead and take the 3/16 Allen and go ahead and take out the adjustment screw brass piece with the HPR seat reg. Now your seat reg is the velocity adjustment, and the piston sits on the seat reg when it's aired up like so it'll cause indents. If you have an indent, I'll show you on the other side of mine. I have a small ring here. You can use the seat reg twice. All you have to do is just flip it over and push it back into place. Now all I did to get it out was use that small Allen, and there is a hole at the bottom of this brass piece on the inside, and you can just stick the Allen through, and you want to gently push it out. You don't want to use a pick because you want to try to use this both times, since it's only going to be sealing on one side and then the other. And to insert, just gently push it back on. And the reason why you don't want to use a pick is if I pick this out, I'm going to completely destroy the seat reg. The other option is if this doesn't come out with the Allen, you're gonna have to go ahead and use a pick and just pick that out, and go ahead and use a new seat reg that does come with your M2 repair kit inside the case. So now that we looked at that, we're going to look at a common O-ring that I always have to replace, and it's inside the cartridge. It's a yellow 008 O-ring, number 9. And to get that out, we're going to go ahead and use a pick. And from this side, we're just going to try not to scratch anything, but just grab it and push out, and it just fell through the bottom. Now that we have that out, and say it was leaking, common leaks for this M2 will be is when this is seated in here. Let me remove the front grip. When the HPR is put together, the assembly sits just like this with the shim stack here, and there's this small hole on the front of the grip. If air is leaking straight out of there, you can quickly guess that it's either going to be this red O-ring, which is a 015. Both of these, there's two, so it's most likely not going to be either of these, but you still want to check and diagnose. And then it's going to, if these are all three of these are fine, the fourth one to check is that 008 O-ring on the inside where the piston rests. Since that piston moves up and down slightly, but it does, it is a dynamic O-ring and will be needed to be replaced every so often. I always check it. I pull my whole HPR part the weekend before a tournament, check that O-ring. I want that O-ring to be as nice as possible. If it looks like it's flat on the inside here, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that and install a new one. So I do have almost a brand new build on my HPR just before a tournament. So now, next question I always get is how to get that O-ring back in here. Is it easier to go from the bottom or the top? Easiest way is to go from the top. You're going to take your big Allen, the 1/4 Allen, go ahead and stick it through the bottom, and then rest it on a table. And take the replacement O-ring, pinch it with needle nose pliers. Go ahead and push down. I'm just going to gently get it in there and push with my thumb. And it should, as you can see, already start lining up. So I'm just going to keep pushing and use the needle nose here and just get that back down in there. I just took a simple O-ring and just kind of pressed it and then rolled to get it on the outside to press it against the outer wall. The other option, and what I'm still going to do, is use the piston and push the piston inside that O-ring and push it all the way down just so it gets it pressed against the outer wall again, and it keeps it a nice circle because we did just pinch it on with the needle nose and it kind of made it an oval. So that way it just kind of spreads the O-ring back out. Now we're going to go ahead and reassemble everything. We're going to take your adjustment screw, place that back in, gently push and screw in, and get the service nut back into place and screw all three of these back down. Now that we have it all assembled, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the piston and the shim stack. The shim stack is going to be lined up of 5 pairs. So we're going to look at one pair just to show you how it looks. Is if you ever play drums or know anything about a drum set, it's going to go ahead and be like a hi-hat form, where it's going to protrude out on either side. And the first one normally sits beveled out, so it's opposite with the next one. So this is how the shim stack is going to look on the piston. As it goes 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 1. We're going to go ahead and place the shims back on. And then for luck, we're going to take some lube. Since it is a dynamic O-ring that this goes over. Just lube the piston just a little bit. And then get some lube inside there. probably a little bit too much, but it should still be fine. Should still operate out at 100%. And then simply just twist. And I like to spread that lube just a little bit more. And this is your complete HPR put back together. So again, the common leak is going to be straight out of this hole, and it is either going to be that yellow O-ring 008 that's on the inside, 015 red, or here, if it leaks straight out the bottom, straight out this service nut, it's going to go ahead and be that HPR seat reg. It either fell apart or just got damaged to the point where it's just leaking straight through the bottom. Go ahead and take your HPR apart and replace that. The next, if it's leaking but it doesn't seem like it's coming straight from here, but on the outside, it's going to be this O-ring. These O-rings do pass the threads on the body of the HPR, so sometimes it could get chewed up as you replace and take it out, put it back in. Eventually you will have to replace them since they do touch and move across the threads. Now that we have it back in place, we're going to take the 1/4 and screw it all back together. That is simply how to go over your HPR. The common leak is going to be that hole. If it's at the bottom, it's going to be the adjustment screw or the HPR seat reg. If it comes out the side here, it's going to be that very last O-ring, a number 7015. Or if it comes out that hole, it's going to go ahead and be a number 7, the second one from the top, or the bottom I should say. Or then take a look at your piston O-rings as well. Thank you for watching.